I'd say,
But
look, for
also,
instance, I can tell you now, again, look, I cannot prove some of the what I'm saying, but I worked in that industry. I spent a lot of time with a lot of fun people, um, right? For instance, the Saudi king at the time, there was one time, and even in the UAE, to my knowledge, the the close echelon, the close protection, let's say the close protection team around some of these heads of state are not their own people. For instance, a lot of their military is outsourced to other countries, to professionals from other countries. The officers may be from their countries, but the military itself, the professional military, are from other countries. And two, the close protection teams around many of the heads of state are, crazy enough, in the Middle East, Israelis. Okay? South Africans, like myself, and Israelis. Because they trust them for their professionalism. They don't always trust their own. And of course, some of this stuff would find its way accidentally, just by sheer accident. I was in Iraq at the time, and Barack Obama, for the second or third time, accidentally, just by accident, I was about 20 Ks behind the ISIS front line, doing some work out there because ISIS was getting some work done very effectively against the Iraqis at the time, and I was called in to see if I could lend a hand. And Barack Obama just accidentally landed a metric crap ton of arms on the ISIS side of the line, just by
yeah.
sheer accident. And he did that more than once. And I mean, people were like, is this an accident? Because look, you ask me, I don't think it was an accident. I think he was arming them. Your thoughts?
No, look, I'm not a military man, but I seem to recall in my own
Hmm.
thinking at the time that why was ISIS in a certain amount of number? Where did they get the logistics? Because it's not just about manpower; it's the logistics behind the
Yes.
spoilers, the flags, the propaganda machine. That is
Hmm.
all requiring dollars. But yet there's nobody chasing the dollars. And then when they were able to defeat an Iraqi army that were trained by the Americans, and when the Iraqi army fled from ISIS, they left their weapons behind. And as a man that's not military educated, I did think to myself, well, why did they not destroy the weapons? You don't leave the weapons there for
So is the
your
story true? Is that the narrative? Is it true? Were they deliberately leaving the weapons? Was it just fear and terror that they ran, or were they donating those weapons?
This is where I'm saying to you, the narrative did not make sense with the outcome.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, so let's the USA's biggest export partners. Now, let's have a look up to 2019. Okay, this is the newest figures. Still 13 billion Saudi, Australia, UAE, South Korea, Japan. Italy's down here. Israel is now on the list in 2019, $2.2 billion. Okay, Ishak says to add to the list, I think Israel is also at war with Quran, Hadith. Look, yes, most certainly. We all are, actually. It's certainly at war with us. So notice these countries. Now notice you've got one, two, three, four Arab countries. You add this up, that's well over $20 billion. Then you have Israel down here. So, yeah,
Can I ask a question on that? Do you think that that's sometimes a tactic in itself to spread the cost?
I would think that is so because look, they do cooperate at an international level. Look at the how they control the UN, the OIC, 54 countries, Islamic countries. Yes, they do. They do. And also they can hide it better that way. You can distribute it. It's distributed. Certainly
That's
they're all working towards the same goal. Yeah. Yeah. So yes, how about the tons of cash in Afghanistan? Yeah, didn't wasn't the head of the FBI? What was his name? That guy assisting Barack Obama to drop a bunch of cash off. Yeah, untraceable, right? The Israeli lobby reflects the will of Americans. Now, in 1974, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff at the time, General George Brown, attacked the Jewish lobby and Jewish ownership of banks and newspapers. Senator Thomas McIntyre, Democrat, New Hampshire, a member of the Armed Services Committee, acknowledged the influence of the Israeli lobby, which he said reflects the will of a strong majority of all Americans. I'll repeat that. The Israeli lobby reflects the will of a strong majority of all Americans. What's important to note from this is that Israel is popular. Muslims,
Do you think?
yeah, yeah,
Sorry,
go on,
I interrupted there. I
go on,
apologize. Do
go
you
on.
think that this strong majority of America has been influenced by certain evangelical churches that are very charismatic in their support of Israel? Because you do tend to see that quite a lot in America.
Um, Look, certainly, but the thing is, we have certain we have certain historical and religious ties to that region of the world. There are certain values and there are certain events, historical events that we are tied to. So I'll get into that. I actually do cover that. That will come up. However, understand that Israel is popular. For instance, just to briefly deviate, AIPAC is not a political lobby like you have Qatar spending $5 billion. Okay? AIPAC is funded by regular Americans, the people like you who are listening to me now. They send $5, $10, $20. They send that to AIPAC out of their own pockets. Those are donations from the average American. That is not $1 million, $1 billion from a government. People willingly send their money because they support Israel for various religious, social, cultural, etc. reasons.